Hey guys, welcome back. Alright, now let's jump right into LUI. It's a big add-on and I really want to cover as much as I can, and I really hope I'm not missing anything, or I'm not missing anything you guys might be wondering about it. So let's get started. As soon as you get the add-on, you're going to log into WoW, and then you're going to have a big button in the middle of your screen that says install. You're going to click that, and then you're coming to a UI that looks something like this. Once you do, the first thing you're going to obviously want to do is customize it, right? Alright. So let's get to the options. So once it looks like this, go up to the right hand corner and left click on this gear. That will open the LUI options and you can get started customizing your unit frames. Alright, so there's a lot of stuff here I'm going to touch on a little bit. I'm going to go in depth in a little bit more. Alright, so first, general settings. Everything here is basically what you want to see once you log in. So if I logged out and I came back in, I will see my minimap and I'll see my micro menu, which is this and this. If you want to see omen or grid or chat or recount, you can have that also. Miscellaneous options. You can hide Blizzard error messages such as I'm out of mana, I don't have enough energy, target's not in range. You can hide talent change spam, which is like if I went from affliction to metamorphosis to demon, it would say you've gained Metamorphosis, you've gained Hand of Golden, you've gained Felguard. That won't appear if you have this clicked. Show module messages would be if you switch a module right here to disable, enable, it would all be right here. Enable auto accept invites. If you have this on and a guildmate or a friend invites you, you're automatically going to accept it. Enable auto invite. The way this works is once you have this clicked, only friends and guildmates I would recommend you having clicked. Auto invite keyword. If you're AFK or they're AFK and you want to be in a group together and you type in, say that, to each other or to anybody that is AFK or not even AFK, just if they want to invite someone without having to click the accept thing, just type in immersed, whisper it to someone, whisper it to a guildmate, and they would be in your group momentarily. But for the time being, we're not going to have that. Alright, so let's go down a little bit more. Damage font and size. So I just want to say, I use Pepsi on my videos. Since I've had this add-on, I use Pepsi. The font size is 25. And my crit size is 34. These are the defaults. I haven't touched it. Now, one thing I will want to say is Pepsi. Anytime you change a font, you will need to relog to apply the change. Because I changed it. I didn't understand why it wasn't changing. So I logged out, logged back in, and it fixed itself. All right, let's go to add-ons. You can restore Bartender, Grid, Recount, Fort, and Omen through here. If you want to restore everything, just click here. Let's go down to colors. I'm not going to go too in-depth about this. I will mention a few things, but it's very self-explanatory. So you can have a Paladin one, Priest one rather, Pally, Mage, Druid, Death Knight. You get the glyph. You get the glyph. You get the gist of it rather. Been playing too much WoW, sorry. So if you go here and you want to change this, that changes that. You can also just go, like 000, 100, 000, 000 to have completely green, because green is an awesome color. So that's color, panels, bars, it just keeps going. One thing I will say is in panels, TPS color, TPS border, DPS color, and DPS border. For me, for some reason, when I first got this add-on, it didn't necessarily let me have a clear SCADA. So what I did, if you have the same problem, is it didn't matter what color it was, I took this and I just brought it down to here, to 1. And I did this to 1, this to 1, and this to 1. That fixed my problem immediately. I'm not saying you will have the problem. I'm just saying if you do have it, that fixed it for me, and I hope it helps in some way. Alright, let's keep going. Frames. If you're using SCADA like I am, you're going to have to change a few things here. So under here it says add-on, it says Omen. Change this to SCADA if you're using it. Same for DPS. And raid, chat, raid, and micro. I didn't touch, I just left it how it is. But you can check out the options when you get this, if you get this. Now, one of my favorite things about this is the similarity you can have between tunes. For example, if I wanted to have my mage's UI, I can have it just by clicking this. And I will do that at the end of the video just so you guys can see it. I'm not going to do it now because I'd like to continue and go through all of these. And I hope this video isn't too long. I just, I'm putting a note here to help a few people, and if it helps you, I'd really like to hear if it helps you under the comments. And yeah, I really appreciate feedback from my viewers. Alright, let's go down to modules. There's one thing I want to mention here. Interrupt announcer I have disabled, mainly because if I'm in a battleground or I'm in a 5-man dungeon or I'm in a raid, chances are if I'm beating on someone and then my teammate's nearby and he's beating on someone, he won't really care if I interrupt. It's just they're going to be too busy with their own thing. That's why I turn it off. I don't want to spam it. I don't want to get it. I don't want to be annoying. So I turn it off. And, I try to pick my fights wisely. But I'll save that for another video. Alright, going down to auras. Now, I didn't touch any of this. But I will say one thing. If you like seeing all your buffs, you need to turn this off. Because this will put them in a box. So if you don't understand why you can't see them, this is it right here. Buffs, size, you can move them. This is how you move them. The Y and X value, you can move them across the top of your screen, bottom of your screen, whatever. That's how you move them. Count, you can pick the font. I didn't really touch this stuff. I just left it as is. Alright, bags. I will show you. This is the... Oops, sorry about that. This is the LUI bag frame. It has a stack and sort. Very useful. It also has a bag container viewer right here, so you can see if you need any bags. In my case, I need all 4. You can also go into the options and say show item color. Quality, rather. So my Hearthstone, for some reason, all add-ons I've ever used consider it trash. On my Paladin back in BC, it was my mainly used thing along with my bubble when I was getting ganked. But anyway, for some reason it's trash. But as you can see, there's a little border around it. It's black. Alright, let's go back in. The good thing about this is I really love universal add-ons for the sake of you don't have to spend too much time fixing an add-on rather than playing the game. And what you can do here is you can go to bank and copy bags. So everything I do here would be transferred here. If I don't want that, uncheck it. Everything becomes clickable. You can do that. Colors, again, it's just colors. Okay, this is going to take a little bit. Bars. This is where a lot of people get confused. So hotkey text. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I uncheck it, it's not there. But I like that. Show macro text. As in, if I had a macro on there and I named it DPS, it wouldn't actually show DPS if it was off like that. But if it's on, it'll say DPS. I know it's my macro there. Show equipped border. Now this is really, it's not really important. I do like it though. If I have my cape on my druid, for example, my cape, and I have it on, it would show a green border that I have it on, and I know that it's ready to use. I don't need to worry about, is it in my bags, is it in my other spec? No, it's on me. I can use my slow fall whenever I need it. It's perfect. What else? Okay, up here, if you're wondering how you can size your bars and where you can add bars, it's right here. Bars and up here. So right here, again, it's just mainly the size. Actually, if you can see, it's this red line here. So if we disable the top one, it goes away. I keep it, I like it. It's preference, really. Okay, you can hide empty buttons, but then when you pick something up, you can put it down. I like seeing all my bars. Now, here's something I really need to stress. Scale, I'll stress the thing I want to stress in a minute. Horizontal position moves it. Get it back to where it was. Okay, that's good enough. Vertical moves it up and down. And say you made a mistake and you're like, oh, I just want it back to the way it is. Default 0. Press 0. Enter. There, it's perfectly aligned. Oh, I want it back the way it is. 20.8. Back the way it was. Or 20, not 29. 20. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. Alright, so point is where it really is. For example, left. But you get the gist of it. That's the positioning where you can just move it like this. So scale is the size of it. How big or how small do you want it? For our video, we're going to do it massive for some reason. I don't know. But buttons per row, 12. You could do an up and down one, and you can move it. Oh, let's actually move it over here. You can move it there, bump it up a little bit. There, that'll be where our number 1 through equal sign bar is. Now, number of buttons. If you have metamorphosis and you want meta and the demon abilities, you can do that. You'll have meta on your 1, then the 2 demon abilities, go 1, 2, 3, and you'll be good. Okay, rogues, druids, warriors, listen up, because this is where it gets a little complicated for you guys. State settings. Excuse me. State settings is basically where, when you go into battle stance, when you go into bear form, that is a state. You're going into battle stance, that's a state. That's a bar state. You're changing bars. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to find, for example, warlocks, your metamorphosis should be your 1. Because then when you set up your number 1 bar, right here for some reason it has 3. When you set up this bar and you go into metamorphosis, this will not change. However, if you do want that to change and you want certain things, you can make it 3, and then once you're in meta, just change the spells there. Or what you can do if you really want to be sly about it and you want to change it without a time limit, like instead of going into, I mean, like rogues, the one thing I hate is back when I didn't have this add-on, you had to basically go into Shadow Dance, put all your spells on really, really fast, and then wait a minute, and then do it again, and then wait a minute. You don't have, rogues, relax, you don't have to do that anymore. Just do 3. This will be your meta bar. Go back to 1. Once you go in 3, once you go in meta, it will all be there for you just how you want it. I personally have it at 1. I like having 1 bar for everything. It works really well for me, but again, that's just me. Playstyle is playstyle. Alright. Enable fader. Basically, if I'm not using it, it will be faded. I don't like that. I like seeing what I have in my arsenal. So basically, I believe for warriors, Zerk is 9 for the states. Defensive is 8 and battle is 7. And then Shadow Dance is 7 as well, along with stealth, if I remember correctly. Don't hold me to that, but I'm just trying to help you in advance. So that's that. Now, you can do action bar 2. We'll bump it up. We're going to create a really, really neat little UI during this video. So we're going to bump it over here. It's going to go up. And right there. I don't know. I'm putting it there just for fun. No judging. No, I'm joking. Okay, so we can again go down. Bar states. So you might be asking yourself, well, what are the alt and control? If you want 1 bar to represent 3 bars, and what I mean by that is if you want this to represent your battle stance, this to represent your defensive stance, and this to represent your Zerk stance, you can have that. Your default will be Zerk, or say your protection warrior. Your default will be defensive. If you hold down Alt, the number 1 bar will change to your Zerk stance, and then control will turn to your battle stance. It's useful, but I would just add another bar if that was the case. Or again, just put on a warrior, it would go default, battle, defensive, Zerk, alt, control. So you could pick what one. Alright, moving on. If you want another bar, you can do that as well. Just scale it up. Buttons per row. Move it a little bit. Go down a little bit. And to the right. Alright, right there's good. You can have up to about 6 action bars, if you so choose. So if you like have a lot of stuff, a lot of macros, arms warriors, prot warriors, fury warriors, be good for you guys, trust me. You can do that. But for this video, we're not going to do that because I'm a warlock. So, okay. These are our bars. And to basically... Let me move it over here. I didn't like it over there. Okay. Now, if you watch my videos right here, you're going to see my mounts. This is called right bar 1. And you can scale it. You can... sorry, you can't really move it. I'm not quite sure why. But you can't actually move it. Maybe because of the scale? Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not sure why you can't really use it. Sorry, guys. Move it, I mean. This is the bar state of what you want this bar in here to act like. And you can again have another right one up here. You would have to move your mini-map or just put stuff on the low part of the bar. And there's left bar 1, which you can't really see. But it's the same thing on the other side. So we're going to turn right bar 2 off because we're not going to need that in this video. Shapeshift and stance bar, which is basically warlocks for metamorphosis, hunters for aspects, druids for their shapeshift bar, and I think that's it. You can change it, you can scale it up and down. Pet bar right here. You can move it. We're going to have it right over Scada. We're going to put it there. We're going to scale it up so we know. And you can have numbers per row if you want it vertical. Enable fader. Alright, so we can go down to totem bar for our shamans. Vehicle exit button and extra action bar, which is that. So during Dragon Soul, the first fight, you have that spell you click to lessen the damage you take. You can just click it right here. You can move it if you want, wherever you really want to put it. I like it where it is. Alright, that's about all. I really want to stress at this point, if you have any questions whatsoever, leave a comment, personal message me on YouTube. I would love to help because in the beginning I really struggled, and I would, I like helping people, and if I can ease your stress even one little bit, let me know and I'll do it. I'll help as much as I can. Alright, chat, I don't really touch this, but it's colors, it's right here. Do you want to see the arrows? Right here. Do you want to see scroll, menu, minimize? So it's basically just that. I haven't really touched it. Cooldown. So for example, right there, it's just cooldown precision, minimum scale, font, color. Pretty self-explanatory. Fader is basically, I'm not sure actually. Fader is actually when let's see here. What is fade? I think it's a bar thing where as if you're casting, and if you want your bars to react to that. I personally just have it like this. It's also for nameplates, like if the guy's close, far. Alright, so let's move on to info text. hide tooltip info for data text stats while in combat. I don't have this checked. You could also go here to clock, because right here it says 15:45. I don't like that, so I click this, and it's off. 3:46. That's much better. I don't have to take 4 hours to figure out what time it is. So we go to DPS up here, rather there. You could have that on. You could also have durability, friends, and friends if you're up here, and you can actually invite them through here, which is pretty cool. Now merchant, there's a few things I click in here just so you guys know. I do use guild repair. I go to auto sell, enable auto sell, and this here is an exclusion list. So for example, if I don't want to sell this, I put it there, and it basically successfully added bent staff to the exclusion list. Bent staff, remove item if I want to sell it. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you're a mage and you like having a lot of regents, you can also auto stock at certain vendors with this. You can enter a new item or drag it in here. For the sake being, right now we're not going to do that. Minimap, you can basically move it. You can drag it. We'll put it, let's see, we'll put it right there. Just to say we can move it. I know it's close to the original. Alright, nameplates. Which are basically auto hide and auto hide I don't actually have on. I like, I have this one on, auto show nameplates. I like seeing the nameplates. Especially through walls and stuff, you can tell when a big attack is coming in battlegrounds and stuff. It's very, very useful. You can pick the color, the font. You can pick the height and width of the health bar along with the colors. Cast bar, height and width, the location of it, and the offset of it. Again, the location of the name. Swing timer. Okay, this is a swing timer. It basically calculates when you can attack. So right there, this is a swing timer. And then I can attack again. So that's a swing timer. And actually underneath that, right here's my aggro. That's my aggro bar. Alright, so let's go back into it. You can test it. That's your swing timer, as I just showed you guys. Again, just the appearance and more of the appearance. Threat bar, which is down there again. Now, I'm not quite sure why you would want to hide this if you're tanking. I personally love seeing my threat as a tank. It helps me tank. But if you basically, okay, right here it says whether you want to hide the threat bar, if you're a tank spec or not, only works if Vengeance model is enabled. Basically, if this is basically enabled, you can hide it. I don't really hide it. I like seeing my threat. I don't really know what it is. I like it. So what you can do now is basically in your tooltip, if I mouse over this, Northshire Guard, it's up here. You can move that. You can also do position, the health bar of it, the background, the border, and enable show in combat if you want to see it in combat or not, the tooltips. If you want to see for abilities, so if I mouse over my Shadow Bolt, if I'm in combat and this is not clicked, it won't be there. Show for unit frames, same story with this one. If this is clicked and I'm in combat, it will not show my mouse over unit frames. And anchor to cursor, meaning, I'll show you guys, meaning this. It will be attached to my cursor wherever I mouse over. So if I do Storming Guard, it's right there. You know, my little minion. Alright. Now the fun part, unit frames. Actually, I'll quickly just touch on this. Vengeance bar is your Vengeance as a tank. If you want to track that, you can. Again, appearance and text is just appearance. World map, keep panel behavior, whether or not to maintain Blizzard's panel behavior, hide when other panels are shown, close on escape. I don't have that. I do have close on escape though. I have auto change zone. I don't have fading. Full size world map. again, this is all just location and size. Alright, unit frames. This is basically where the customization, this is the meaning of a custom UI. You can change things to your liking. So we're going to put that there. My pet target will be right here. My pet will be here. My target's target will be right next to him. His cast bar here. And my cast bar up here. I know that's a horrible UI, but it's fun. I'm making one up as I go. Now, boss, you can also move. This is like when you're in a raid and it says like Deathwing. This is where you want to see that. We'll put that dead in the middle of the screen. Click save. And there you go. And that's basically... So as you can see, what the fader does is if... That's my imp's bar. If I have him targeted, it fades up. As basically saying, okay, well, what do you want to do with the imp? We'll show you what you can do. Alright, so we can go back in here. Now once you click on unit frames, all of this comes up. And you can show cast bars, connector frames. Connector frames is basically... actually, I'll move that a little bit so you guys can see. Move this a little bit. Okay, so you see the connector right here? That's the connecting frame. So this Black Wolf has the Stormwind Infantry targeted. Anyway, very simple stuff. And then you can do arena, target of target. I'll go through player. And then the video, I'll stop the video and you guys can, yeah, set up your personal UI with this great add-on. So again, this is the location, the point, the height and width, and the size of it. You can also do bars. The height, width, position, it's very, very simple. Text, it's basically the appearance, cast bar, test cast bar, right here. You know, do you like your cast bar there? Do you not like it? You can change it now. Auras, portrait, so that's a portrait. Now I'm going to give you guys a fair warning. If you have this and you start experiencing FPS issues, it's probably because of this. Because I had a X-Pearl a while ago, and X-Pearl is very, very 3D like this. And I had a lot of FPS issues, but hey, you know, computers are different, just like playstyles, as I always say. So if you like it, keep it. Icons basically are PvP icons. So if you want to see if you're PvP or not, if you're in combat, you want to see. If you're resting, you want to see. If you're the loot master, leader, what role you are, and the raid. So basically, everything is self-explanatory. No matter what I click on, it'll have positioning and appearance and enable disable. That'll be it. But yeah, that's it. And I really hope this video helped. I'm sorry about my stuttering and, you know, a little bit nervous, but I hope it helps in some way. And if it did, I would really like to know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day. And let me know if there's any other videos you guys would like to see. Thank you again.